Welcome back everyone to more Let's Play Demon's Crest. Now when we were last together, we collected the Crest of Water and became the Tidal Gargoyle. Now that we're the Tidal Gargoyle, we can go exploring underwater without getting damaged. And there are two places that we can go do that right now. One is back to this sunken temple. If I can land properly. And in we go. Now, just as before, we take no damage while we're swimming around the water, while we're in Tidal Gargoyle form, but all the environmental hazards are still there. Now, we cannot use any of the other crests while we're underwater, or we'll turn back to the other forms and start taking damage. Now, sure, we could smash through this wall and go check out that area, but we're not going to do that just yet. We have things to do still. Going back into the temple, you say? Well, yeah, we are going back into the temple. But why? Why, Ed, you devilishly handsome man? Why would we possibly go back into the temple? Well, because things have changed. Remember that horrible slug corpse-eating thing came down here? Well, now we can go up here and see where he was hiding. Well, it doesn't seem all that interesting. But there is this we could smash, and we get a life gem. And we don't have to go all the way back to the beginning of the stage, because we can just smash our way through here. And look at that. There's some water for us to jump into. And we will jump. And we are now back in the sunken part of the temple, where we would have come in if we had gone in through the first opening that I had created. But as you can see, it's dangerous down here. Check out that background. Isn't that something? And what's this? Another life gem. We are just raking them in. Wasn't careful there. I paid for it. Now, just due to my button configuration, it's a little tough for me to swim like that and fire. So forgive me for getting whacked around a little too much. But swimming like that is the best way to avoid the hazards down here. So it might be worthwhile to adjust your controls at this point of the game. Be careful around here, because all these spikes will hurt you. We're getting close to boss fight time. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to switch to the Skull Talisman. So hopefully we can pick up some health items on the way to the boss. There's one. One is better than none. Sometimes none is better than one. Okay, boss fight time. We are switch to our hand talisman, because that will allow us to fire more quickly. Here's our boss enemy. Some sort of horrible sea slug. Now this fight is fairly straightforward. It is going to attack by pushing or pulling the water in around it. And this will pull you away, well, this will push you away or pull you towards it. And it's going to release those bubbles from its back during the course of the battle, and from its mouth, to damage you. But all in all, this is a very straightforward fight, and we've got more than enough firepower to deal with it. But then something like that happens. Still, we had enough to take out the enemy. Huzzah! And I'm going to take a drink of my soda. This soda says, share a Coke with your BFF. I guess that's you, Jay. I may have mentioned Jay in other live streams. He is one of my buddies who helps me pull this stuff off. And he's also my fact checker, sometimes while we're playing these games. So, there was one other stage 4 reward for us to check out, and it was this one. Man. Now, if you remember, Aerial Gargoyle is great here, because it can smash through these vines. Well, not smash through them, but cut through them. I'm going to switch back to the Crown Talisman. We are going to headbutt our way in here. Now, Ed, how come we didn't do this earlier? Well, because believe it or not, this is another water area. And Tidal Gargoyle is better equipped to deal with what's down here. Now, sure enough, we could have platformed our way through this. But life is so much easier when you're a Tidal Gargoyle. We also do a lot of damage with Tidal Gargoyle in the water, so that's why we're able to kill a lot of these enemies with one hit. Nope, not here. Now get out of the water, quick, quick, quick. Alright, another scroll. There's one more scroll and one more urn to find. And I think I know where they are. Stay Tidal Gargoyle. up lots of money down here. Those eyeballs can't follow us into the water. And we found another passageway. And in this passageway, another life crystal. Life gem, life crystal. 4 fish. Now we get to take on what I think is one of the cooler bosses. Got this weird little crustacean thing. Attached to this much bigger crustacean thing. And it's going to throw its head at us, or jump around at us like it is here. And you see how only the bottom half is flashing? That's because we're only damaging the bottom half right now. Ah, not fast enough. We can attack both parts separately. Wow, got stuck. He's usually not this jumpy when I fight him. He spends more of his time throwing his head at me. But now that the body is destroyed, we gotta fight the head by itself. Now, since we're using the ground gargoyle, we're making short work of it. But the head by itself can still be pretty dangerous. And we get a life gem. Not so bad, right? Now that's all the underwater investigation there is left to do. So now we're going to stage 6, which is way up in those mountains. Now we're going to switch over to Tidal Gargoyle. Not Tidal, I'm sorry. I'm going to switch over to Aerial Gargoyle. And just fly right up. And there's our last room. Now we can stay up here and just fly our merry way. We're not going to do that. I'm going to make life hard for myself. We're also going to smash these piles of skulls in hopes of finding goodies. Oh, now what do we got up here? Looks like a little palace or something we can go into. Or, we can go down this way. Now this is where I've got to make a decision. If I go forward, we'll finish the stage more quickly, and we'll get a really powerful item. But we're going to fight arguably the toughest enemy in the game. Or one of the toughest enemies in the game. And we don't quite have the equipment to deal with him. But if we go up this way, the stage is longer, but we'll get more goodies. You know what? I don't want to waste too much of your time, so we're going to go this way. The goodies we get in here will make us better prepared to fight the creature that's back the other way. Alright, now these doors are blocked by walls of ice. I'll go in this one first. There's a whole bunch of blocks of ice we can crush. But that is what we really want. With that life gem, we have almost maximum health. That's right, yes, this stage has ice physics, so we are going to slide when we cling to the walls or when we walk across the floor. Okay, back to aerial form. Now, I figure it's late enough in the game, so I might as well mention this now. A lot of this we don't have to do in the order that I went through. You have a lot of freedom into the different order you approach things. And different enemies will be affected by different crests in different ways. Oh, we remember him, don't we? Now, if I remember correctly, he's pretty vulnerable to the Wind Crest. So a few shots will put him down. But I have to land the shots first. Oh, he's changing color. And down he goes. No special crests from him, just our health restored. Remember this? You gotta do the torch gimmick again. Now those horrible looking worm things down there are zombie hand friends. Oh, they're easy to avoid at this point. Oh, they got me. Got me again. Easy picking for these bats. Okay, let's shed some light on this situation. There's a statue over here, and we're gonna smash it. We get our next crest. Not crest, our next talisman. This is the Armor Talisman. And you can probably guess what the Armor Talisman does just from its name. So we're going to use it for the time being. And when we can get out of here, we'll take a quick trip back to town so our friend can tell us what we already know that it does. Alright, boss battle time. It's Arma again. This is our final meeting. You shall go no further. I will destroy you or die trying. Well, we're happy to oblige. We've got lots of tricks at our disposal now to deal with Arma. One of the most important things is that we can fly now. So when Arma gets up out of our range, we can just follow it after. But even though with the aerial gargoyle does hurt him, he doesn't take much damage. So we're going to focus on using the Buster and the Fire Crest to battle him. Now there's another reason we want to be aerial gargoyle. His whirlwind attack doesn't affect us. Still got me. These are new attacks. Not too different than the beams that he already fires at us. Come on, down from there. Definitely taking more abuse this time around than he did in previous encounters. Oh. Almost got me. And we got you beat. You do possess incredible power. Firebrand. My power is now yours. Let me seal it within this crest. You have found the Crest of Time. With it, you can morph into L Gargoyle, and your skin shall become like iron and decrease the damage done to you by half. And the L, I'm pretty sure, stands for Legendary Gargoyle. So let's take a quick trip back to town. And our friend here is going to tell us what the Armor Talisman does. Hey bud, this is the talisman called Armor. It helps you to withstand the shock of attacks. So we just take less damage when we have it equipped. I'm sure most of you could figure that out. But now we are going to transform into the Legendary Gargoyle. And look at this guy. He can do pretty much everything Firebrand can. He headbutts, he can hover, and he shoots a very powerful blast. I think there's only one blast more powerful than this. But what does our fountain friend have to say? No! You're dead! You can't be! That red demon! Please don't kill me! Yeah, he's obviously terrified of what he sees here, because we are badasses. Now we are getting very close to the end of the game. In fact, I think we can go and fight the boss of the game at this point if we wanted to. Let's see. Let's just grab an extra ginseng. You know what, we'll grab 2 since we can afford it. Now, even though we could go take on the boss of the game, we're going to go back into the mountains. Because there were two paths we could take. Now we're just going to get through here like normal. And you know what, we might as well do it as a legendary gargoyle. We're going to take a whole lot less damage between being the legendary gargoyle and having the armor talisman. You may have noticed that a lot of these attacks aren't even doing a whole unit of health damage to us. Some are doing something like half, some are doing something like a third. Alright. Now this is the area we didn't visit. And the legendary gargoyle's blast is so powerful it can smash through armor. So it's sort of like the Buster in a way. But we still have to turn into ground gargoyle to smash the graves and skeleton piles like that. And we still have to be aerial gargoyle to fly. Oh, we want to get up there. You gotta fly to do that. Because in this last skeleton pile, it's our last scroll. So now we have every scroll. You only need one talisman and 2 crests. Now we are going to transform back into legendary gargoyle. Alright. This is one of the toughest enemies in the game. Why? Well, one, it's crazy aggressive. It hits really hard. You can see even as we're armored up now, we're taking reasonable damage from this thing. Now, you would think this guy would be easy, because we just fly over it and don't have to worry. But one is it does those jumps, so it can knock you out of the air. The other is it takes no damage from air gargoyle. But now it's defeated. And I know, it looked easy. And it is pretty easy when you're this tough. You got the piece of the fire crest called Demon Fire. This is the most powerful fire in the realm. Alright, I believe that Demon Fire crest is the only crest in the game that does more damage than the legendary gargoyle's blast. But when you're using it, you're not armored up as tough as the legendary gargoyle. Now, we're roughly at about half an hour, and we've only got one place left to check. So, we're going to call it quits here, and then in the next episode, we're going to go take on the boss of the game, Phalanx. So, I hope you've been enjoying. I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care of yourselves.